5 photographers and the assignment of a lifetime. A journey into the unknown to the islands around Africa. Over the islands of Africa. Zanzibar. A dhow plies the waters off Zanzibar. The name alone conjures up thoughts of spices and the tales of 1,001 nights. On board is the photographer Matthias Ziegler. He wants nothing less than to capture the soul of Zanzibar.
And I really like the face of this lady. And do you think you could ask her if I can make one picture of her?
Bikidude. Bikidude. Straighten up. He wants to take your picture.
Yeah? That's very nice. Thanks very much.
Matthias has traveled all over the world for international photo agencies. His specialty is portraits. His task now is to take pictures for a photo book about Zanzibar, the archipelago off the coast of East Africa.
That's a warrior? Same thing. No.
He won't be traveling alone. The second man is Englishman Richard Meredith Hardy. With his Fib, a flying inflatable boat, he can reach even the most remote locations. He can land on land or on water, in theory.
India 8731, I'm southeast of you and estimate overhead 30.
730, leaving 5 good. Stop up level 150.
Planes from all over the world have landed at Zanzibar International Airport. A flying boat, however, is a novelty.
Is the on phone or 18?
At 15 knots, the wind speed is testing the Fib's limits. And that's not all. As he approaches the runway, the front wheel refuses to lock in place.
India X731 Zanzibar. I seem to have a problem with my nose wheel. It won't go down. I'm going to have to go and land it on the water at Chumbe.
Richard opts for a water landing off the nearby island of Chumbe. At the harbor in Zanzibar's capital, Stonetown, the old woman says goodbye with a love song. Such spontaneous encounters are more important to him than any travel guide. The German photographer has been on the move for 20 years and has visited nearly every country in Africa. At the start of a trip, he says, you have to be completely empty, like unexposed film. Zanzibar was once a trading post for slaves and ivory. Down the centuries, the island attracted Chinese, Portuguese, and Arabs. Even today, Stonetown remains an important trade center in East Africa. The pace of life in the city is a little slower during the Islamic month of fasting, Ramadan. Matthias meets fellow photographer Jafid Jafari, who gives him a tour of the old city. For Javid, the island's greatest treasures are not its picturesque beaches.
The people of Zanzibar, that's something unique. We have a culture, we have color, we have the people, we have the Swahili, we have the Arabs. That is what is unique for me. You know, you will see beautiful women wearing kangas, the wraparounds, which is a very traditional.
Right.
And the people are friendly. This is what is special to me, and I think is special to everyone who visits.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I felt already, because it's very open.
Ever since Zanzibar was conquered by the Arabs in the 10th century, some 90% of the population has been Muslim. But beneath the surface, African religions have survived.
As Livingstone said, nothing is what it seems in Zanzibar. People believe in spirits, people believe in black magic, people believe in shaitanis. If they cannot find a solution, they will go to a witch doctor who would give him ideas, would give him suggestions what to do. It's a very spiritual society.
Due to Richard's landing problems, the first meeting with Matthias has been postponed. Richard is an old hand at flying microlights. He once flew from London to Australia, another time over Mount Everest, but the FIB presents new challenges.
You have to treat it as though you're being a bit of a truck driver and think way further ahead than, because if you suddenly see trouble coming, like there's a tree rushing towards you, then you know, with the normal aeroplanes we fly, you just put on full power and you'll climb like hell and be away from it. This thing, you put on full power and nothing much happens.
On the approach to Chumbe, Richard has his hands full. Coastal areas are notorious for unexpected turbulence. Richard has to land flying into the wind. A tailwind could easily upset the aircraft. Chumbe Island. This tiny protected coral island will be the starting point of their journey of exploration. Richard and Matthias are meeting for the first time. Their task, to discover Zanzibar's soul for a photo book, will take them to the remotest corners of the archipelago.
You put your stripe back, then slowly you put and you cover your face together with your nose.
You understand?
When you put there, it is
The first motif, swimming lessons for Muslim schoolgirls. They live on an island in the Indian Ocean, but most of them can't swim. A job for Park Ranger Hamisi.
Look how I open my mouth as if I was standing before a beautiful woman. So always keep your mouth closed.
Now, we are repeating again, but using what? A pipe.
Open your mouths wide. You see? I brushed my teeth this morning. Are you getting air? In and out. If you only exhale, you won't get any air in your brain, and you'll die.
Now let's go in the
After their instruction on land, the girls move into the water.
You need piga magoti.
Kneel down.
Usimkamate mwenzako, usipige kelele. Piga magoti.
Don't hold on to your friend. Just kneel down. Easy does it, sister. If you laugh, you get water in your mouth.
Phase 3, the big moment. Protected by a life ring, the girls are introduced to another world.
Mambo mengi na hasa kilichonifurahisha ni zile coral reefs.
I loved it. I would do it again, anytime. What I liked most were the coral reefs. I'd never seen them. I didn't know that the ocean was like a beautiful garden.
Although he specializes in portraits of people, Matthias can't resist delving deeper into the underwater world. At first glance, it looks like an oil slick, but in fact, it's a school of sardines looking for food in the lagoon. The spectacle attracts not only the photographer, but also reef sharks. In the shallow water, Matthias can't see the sharks, but Richard and Hamisi keep watch from above.
You're very near to him. You see?
Oh yeah, just one, just here. Just on your left! Just there!
Yes, yes, on your left.
Just here!
Left side.
Left side!
Yeah, yeah, there.
Oh yes, behind you, yeah. One behind you!
Matthias is nervous, but Hamisi has faith in the harmony of nature.
This area is protected. Juvenile shark like there are many.
Yeah.
But in the other area, because fishermen always they are netting them,
yeah.
so they are fishing in tons.
Yeah, no, this is amazing. I've not seen anything like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So here they are free, they are happy.
Yeah.
No one hurts them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is amazing how the sharks go through the middle, and the space opens like sort of magic as they go through.
You can be very near. It is not biting. Very, very friendly.
Yeah, no.
Yes, yes. No biting.
They can come and kiss you.
The next destination in their adventure is Nungwi, a fishing village at the northern tip of Zanzibar. It will be Matthias' first flight with a flying boat.
What's my part of the co-pilot?
Okay, well, there are two things you must do. Okay, the first one is when we are taking off, you have to lean out.
To lean out?
Lean out. The engine makes it tip to the left side, and we want it to be level as possible.
Okay.
Then the second thing, you must not, do not ever throw anything into the propeller. If you throw your camera or, I don't know, some small thing into the propeller, it explodes and
Also no light.
we'll go like this. Bits fly everywhere. It won't come to us, but it might make a hole in the boat. But the main thing is that it can be that the engine can jump off.
Okay.
Do not throw anything into the propeller. This is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
The next morning, they're ready to go.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Lift up. Okay, so you ready?
I am ready.
No loose things?
No, everything's strapped.
Okay, so we must lean out to the right a lot, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Ready.
Let's go. Right, lean. Come on. Okay. Oh, we were going crosswind. We were wrong on the wind. But we did it.
Nice and gentle. Thanks very much.
It's a good 60 kilometers to Nungwi. The Fib soars over the lagoons with just 64 horsepower at its disposal. Sometimes high, sometimes low.
Is this the high speed you have?
Yeah.
But the good thing, it's ecological friendly.
No, it's not. It makes a lot of noise and eats a lot of petrol.
After an hour in the air, the Fib approaches Nungwi, but the view is anything but pristine.
There's one hotel after the other. It's unbelievable. So ugly.
Absolutely scandalous. They bring in
You told me you have been here 10 years before and it didn't exist at all, or?
None of this shit was here.
one or two hotels, but nothing like this.
What begins as a textbook landing nearly ends in disaster.
The reason I came a little bit fast was because the throttle was a little bit on, so I switched it off a bit late, and so we came careering up the beach a little bit at an angle and just tipped and everything. But I think we actually tipped when we were stopped, so there was no twisting on the wing, I don't think. So I think we're fine.
Die Landung war lustig.
The landing was interesting, let me put it that way. But it's just fantastic to fly over the island like this. Seeing the people and the boats, the dhows from above. It's spectacular. Awesome.
Flying across Africa in the Fib evokes the early days of flight. No one here has ever seen a flying boat before. Just a stone's throw away, the people are not interested in adventurous pilots and flying photographers. The sprawling, all-inclusive resorts claim ever greater portions of the beach for themselves. Their guests seek peace and relaxation. The fishermen who live here are just props in the background. Dhows, the traditional sailboats, have been made by hand on the beach in Nungwi for centuries. Young girls fetch buckets of seawater to check the boats for leaks. The girls do not want to have their pictures taken.
No! 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 Okay. Okay, no.
Overcoming people's inhibitions and refusals is a regular part of Matthias' job.
I try to approach people in an open way, maybe sit down with them or have a cup of tea, if I have the time. If that's not possible, I do take pictures covertly, but I don't really like to do it, because I generally do respect it when people say no. But to be frank, it really does have a lot to do with how important the picture is to me.
No, over here.
This motif is important to him, but there's only one way of getting the shots. A couple of boys take him to the village.
I can hear it. There's a schooler.
The one who controls his temper in times of anger.
English class at the Quranic school in Nungwi. The young imam is not merely their instructor. Above all, he is a moral authority.
I wanted just to know if it's fine if I take pictures.
Yes.
Yes?
You can.
Because I saw already that the people are not very keen to take pictures of, and I don't want to make any mistake. So I wanted to ask if is there something I'm not allowed to do?
Yeah, it's really good advice on me that we can take a picture. As you know, sometimes the people are not fair to take a picture because a lot of guests are coming and taking pictures whereby the villagers are not fair from that. Okay. But it's really easy when you get like me, the local person, then no problem.
Do you think I mean, just if they want. If I would love to make, if I can make one picture you with 2 of your students.
Yes.
Because the golden is very nice on the picture. But just if she wants.
Nani ganjo? Na njoo ndugu yangu, njoo naye. He's only shy because
they know they are shy. I would be shy too.
Shy is a part of our prophet, and he said also that if somebody has got no shy,
right,
is not really has not complete belief, but shy is a part of belief, strong belief.
Now that he's in the clear, Matthias endeavors to win the girls' trust.
Oh, you can do it. How do you do it? That's a trick, yeah? That's a trick. That's a trick.
With the kids of Nungwi at least, the ice has been broken. Some boys from the village want to show the strangers something special.
You're kidding. They're huge. You can touch them? Oh, come on. You're kidding. It's one of my favorite animals in the world. They're so beautiful. Nice, huh?
Yes.
In the past, green sea turtles were hunted for their meat, and the rare loggerhead sea turtles for their shells. A few years ago, the people of Nungwi recognized that living turtles were a more sustainable source of income. Turtles that get caught in fishermen's nets are kept in natural lagoons, fed and looked after, and sometimes visitors are even allowed to swim with them.
Oh, come on, they're coming to me. Das ist ein sehr, sehr schönes Erlebnis, weil das sind meine
This is just an amazing experience. These are my favorite animals.
Das sind so Kindheitsträume, die dann erfüllen.
It's a childhood dream come true.
Das ist das Schöne auch an dem Beruf. Weil das
and that's one of the great things about this job, because I've always wanted to swim with turtles.
Und dass die so nah und so
and they're so close and so tame.
Echt wahnsinnig toll.
It's just unbelievably cool.
Bist du nicht schön?
You're so beautiful.
Around the campfire later that evening, the 2 men discussed the key factors in flying: wind and weather.
Can you predict like the wind if you look at the clouds, or how do you do that? Is there any chance?
You know here that the wind is always going the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, the wind in East Africa is incredibly predictable.
Oh, okay.
It just goes one way for 6 months and the other way for the other 6 months.
Are there more difficult?
And that's why the whole history of this place is associated with Oman and the Middle East, because they sailed down when the wind came down and they sailed back when the wind went up. It's all part of this sort of monsoon cycle.
The next day, they plan to take a short trip to a part of the archipelago all but untouched by tourism, the neighboring island of Pemba.
I heard that's a really remote island, it's very traditional. They have bullfightings. I've never heard about that.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that.
Incredible flying foxes? Do you heard about
I've heard about the flying foxes. Yeah, they're a special species. It's not that far, 40 kilometers across the water. But I need to go back to the main airport next to Stonetown to get permissions and that sort of thing.
So next time...
The next time
I will try not to hit the beach quite so fast.
Okay.
And you've got to hold on a bit more tightly.
Okay, that's nice. It's good advice.
The next morning, everything seems perfect. Calm seas, clear blue skies. Matthias takes advantage of the morning light to photograph a group of women fishing for squid in the lagoon. His photographer's eye prefers to see the sea of colors in black and white. But then the weather unexpectedly turns rough. Flying to Stonetown today is out of the question. To make sure things don't get even worse, they've got to pack up their equipment right away. A heavy storm could put the fib out of action for good. And not a moment too soon. A stroke of luck. The worst of the storm moves up the coast. Nevertheless, it has left its mark on the fib. Richard reproaches himself for his carelessness.
Mike lights, when they're in the air, are in their element. When they're on the ground, they're not. So it's best to be safe, put the wing flat down on the ground, and then a hurricane can come and there will be no damage. But we left it up, ready to go, being lazy, and this storm came and caught us out. But the only damage seems to be to the equipment we used to de-rig it rather than the actual wing. So I hope we'll be back in action tomorrow as usual.
Again, they're forced to change plans. While Richard repairs the fib, Matthias makes his way to Stonetown in search of motifs beyond the splendid beaches. In the island's interior, many villages seem stuck in a time warp. A condition that remained unchanged even by the socialist revolution of 1964. African putschists drove out the Arab ruling class, and the people hoped in vain for running water, schools, and hospitals. Instead, East Germany sent city planners. They erected Soviet-style apartment blocks that residents soon dubbed Berlin. But the socialist utopia failed to come to fruition. What remained was moldering concrete under palm trees. Today, Zanzibar faces a serious rubbish problem. In the outlying suburbs, massive dumps smolder and pollute the air. Plastic trash, the scourge of Africa, disfigures the backside of the postcard pictures. But for Matthias, it's every bit as important.
This is einfach der Kontrast zu dem anderen, was man sonst
This
so
is the
sieht,
contrast to what you usually see, the blue water, the colorful clothes, the friendly people. But in Zanzibar you have this other reality, and I think this is what it's like for most of the people, and that's why I'm looking at both parts. With just a few days to go before the end of the month of Ramadan, the anticipation is palpable in Stonetown's old city. Everywhere preparations for the Eid festival are underway. The alleyways are thick with the smells of fresh food. Matthias follows his nose. In the bakery, too, they're working overtime. Normally, they would bake 100 loaves a day. Now, it's thousands. Matthias has hit the jackpot.
I'll show you the picture. Wait. It'll take a lot of pictures. It's very beautiful here. It's nice, huh?
You're very muscular. Das ist mein Licht. Also das ist halt
That's my kind of light. It's really a photographer's dream in there. You can't go wrong. The way the sweat glistens, the way the light is, it's just fantastic. Nice people who don't mind being photographed. Really nice.
But it's very good. It's very, very good for Asante.
Slave Island, Sultanate, and Socialist People's Republic. Zanzibar has had a tumultuous history. What remains is the call of the muezzin. They sing at family celebrations, or they come to appease the spirits when someone is possessed. Every evening after prayers, the Sufi ensemble Maulidi Yahomu meets in a Quranic school in the Mendeni district. They praise Allah and the Prophet Muhammad. But Maulidi Yahomu is not a religious practice. They are not allowed to sing in mosques. Barua, the leader of the group, gathers the youths to keep them away from bad influences, like movies, for example, or hip-hop, or the internet. The aim is to develop a strong character.
Maulidi is above all about being joyful. The singer must experience joy. That's the key. It's also called Maulidi of Peace, and peace is itself a kind of joy.
A joyful trance through connection to God. Matthias tries to capture the singer's bliss in pictures. The next morning, at last, the journey to Pemba is set to begin. The fib has been repaired, and all the permits have been obtained. Matthias mounts his cameras, and Richard has filled up the fib's tank for the 100-kilometer flight.
Clear prop, clear prop. Good morning, Zanzibar Tower. This is India 8731.
India 8731, Zanzibar.
India 8731, taxiing now, and I'll hold at the 18 entrance.
Confirm for survey or for photograph?
Affirm for photograph.
Okay, stand by. You see, there must be a permit from Zanzibar Authority, that Zanzibar Aviation Authority. Do you have it?
Affirm, we've got every possible permit.
Okay, but I've been told that you're not allowed. I don't know what permit you have.
Okay, we'll bring you all our papers. Shutting down, thank you.
The official is taking no chances. He wants to see the papers a second time. The two are running out of time.
All of time. The wind is getting stronger, the light is getting less good. And
yeah, we're losing the light probably, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's Africa. Yeah. Hurry up and wait.
That's true, yeah.
Finally, around noon, much too late actually, the two are allowed to take off.
Unbelievable, we are going.
As soon as they're up in the air, Richard again heads for the northern tip of Zanzibar. He wants to skirt the coast as long as possible. After about an hour, they are again over Nungwi, but this time 40 kilometers over the open sea awaits them.
Which direction we have to go? This way? This way. Okay, I can't see anything actually, just water. 40 minutes to cross the water. I actually totally scared about deep water. I mean, I hate what's swimming around there. And you can't see. Yeah. It'll be a nightmare for me. In case, which was the shark repellent? The golden one, eh? Yeah.
Just 10 nautical miles from the coast, a storm is brewing.
It's a kind of a squall line. I actually don't like the look of it very much. I think you'll find it being very rough inside going through that. Feel the change in temperature? It's amazing, yeah.
Dass dann diese Wand immer näher kam und Richard
His front kept getting closer and closer, and Richard kept looking to the right and to the left, and then it became more and more. And then the temperature just dropped like a rock. To the right and left of us it was pouring. You couldn't see 10 meters in either direction. I did feel frightened then. A little bit.
You get better, probably. I was wondering if to go through there. Just hope that it ends.
There was a hole in it, quite a big hole, and there was no sign of gusts on the water, so we sneaked through. We got a little bit of a splattering of rain, but sneaked through it.
At last, the shores of Pemba.
There's an unbelievable number of people on there. Yeah.
The fishing village of Tumbi. They've come to the beach in their hundreds. They've never seen a flying boat. Soon they've come up with a name for the strange pilot. Richard is now known as Vasco da Gama, after the discoverer who made landfall here in 1498.
This is absolutely amazing, and I'm happy that people seem to be happy that something really strange has come. And it makes your job as a photographer much easier, because now you are a hero.
That's absolutely right, yeah. It's the first time I feel like a pop star. Next life I become a pop star.
Interest in the strangers who fell from the sky fades quickly. Fish is a perishable good, and here the fish is not sold but auctioned off. Abdul, the most important man in town, leads the auction. His word is law. Abdul knows that strangers don't always come as friends. It's always been that way.
Do you think he would have like 5-10 minutes to talk to me?
Luckily, Matthias finds Eddie, who translates for him.
Fish market.
In polite but no uncertain terms, Abdul lets the stranger know who's in charge.
We inherited this coast from our ancestors, this very coast. Do you hear? We inherited it from our ancestors.
Then Abdul has a question.
Here's a question.
Yes.
From this guy.
Yeah, of course.
You allow the question?
He can ask me everything what he wants, okay. Really, definitely.
He said
I'm
that
happy that he can...
Here he has a only small boat. He said, are you going to your government to send like maybe in Tumbe 3 boats, 4 boats to help just for fishing people in Tumbe?
If I would be in the position to do this, I would be totally appreciate to help him. But unfortunately, I'm not very important person in Germany. I think nobody will listen to me.
Let me answer. Anasema kwa
Of all the islands in the archipelago, Pemba has the fewest visitors. In some places, people have only ever seen Muzungu, the white man, on television. Matthias goes off on his own, hunting and gathering, as he calls it. In the first village, the people keep their distance. No one wants to be photographed. He doesn't know whether they're just shy or afraid. Even the village chief, the Honorable Mr. Kizenda, can't help him. When they approach, everywhere the doors close. It's not just the fear that the camera will steal their souls. The brutal Portuguese colonial masters all had light skin, as did the Arab despots who enslaved the people.
People in the village, for them it's something new. It's the first time they've seen a Muzungu.
They think you are dangerous.
Yes, dangerous.
They don't see that the Muzungus are like us.
Maybe they even want to help us, but we don't want it.
Because we're afraid.
They say that there was a time when the Musongo came and caught some people and then ran away.
The harbor in Wete is not only the main port for goods from the mainland. It is also a sanctuary for a very rare species that only exists in Pemba. Conservationist Fatuma has dedicated her life to the protection of Pemba's flying foxes. To see them, you have to come just before dusk, before they disappear into the night.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many around.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I heard before I came here that they were really nearly gone. You didn't have anymore. Is that right?
Yeah, during 80s, the population goes down to like hundreds.
What happened? Why? What was the reason? Was this a sickness or?
In Zanzibar, we have a problem of poverty.
Right.
The local people, they used to hunt and eat.
Okay.
As a food.
As food.
It's a very palatable, more than chicken.
It's very good food?
Yeah, it's a very good food. That's why people are eating. And it's very easy to be taken by their enemies.
Yeah, I heard if you shoot one, they all fall down. They let them go. Is that right?
You know, it's like when you got a shotgun, when you shoot, it's like, because they stay like a bunch.
Right.
They are together.
Yes.
And if you target one, you may go more than 20.
The oil of the flying fox is said to possess curative powers and is used as a treatment for pneumonia. But the popos, as bats are known in Swahili, are also associated with an evil spirit, Popo Bawa.
It was like 10 years, more than 10 years past. People had a problem of something like magic problem.
Right.
There was it's associated with something like a satans. They come to their house, like it is like people. When you wake up at your house at night, you could just find a half part of the body, maybe just this part.
This is scary
head
thing.
Part, or this part, leg part.
And
when you see that part, it could go even to the fridge or whatever. They get your food and eat, and you could not see at the time where they escape.
It's not only the contents of refrigerators that Popo Bawa is said to eat, but also humans. In 1970, he visited Pemba. In 2007, he came to Dar es Salaam on the mainland. In 1995, mass panic broke out in Stonetown when a one-eyed bat-like creature was said to have attacked residents in their sleep. The people fled from their houses and gathered around bonfires at night. Then, Popo Bawa disappeared as suddenly as he had arrived. But his legend lives on in the minds of the people. Once, impenetrable rainforests covered all of Pemba. Today, little remains. The great deforestation began in the 17th century when the Omanis overthrew Portuguese rule. The Sultan of Oman ordered every inhabitant of Pemba to plant a clove tree. Today, Zanzibar owes its reputation as the world's foremost producer of cloves to its sister island of Pemba.
The old man is harvesting cloves. As you know, we are in clove season.
Visiting a small plantation, Matthias' translator Eddie introduces him to Aladi, the proud owner of 15 trees.
Okay.
Is he harvesting now?
Yeah, he's harvesting.
Can I try?
Yeah.
Can I try?
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh. Mzee vipi karafuu naonaje mara hizi mazaliwa nyingi?
Kiasi tu, karafuu bado mdogo hii.
Endelea kuchuma,
Hii na kushaanza kuchuma safari ya pili.
Pemba's tropical climate produces especially large cloves of outstanding quality. The essence of Pemba cloves is exported all over the world. Aladi cycles over 30 kilometers a day. That keeps him fit. He has outlived each of his 8 wives. His 15 kids, more or less, as he puts it, live here, there, and everywhere. He lives alone. Meanwhile, he's 102 years old. He writes his birth year of 1908 on the table and shares the secret of his longevity.
1908. It's because I always eat well, but in moderation.
When he is so old, he saw a lot of changes in Pemba. Like when he was a kid, there were no cars, probably no telephones. And what are the biggest changes for him?
Before, there were no telephones. What did we have? We had letters. We wrote letters. Then there was the telephone, which you hold to your ear.
Asante sana. I hope.
At the end, Matthias asks him the secret to his happiness.
First, you have to love people. And your mind must be calm and easygoing. And you must not covet what another man has. This is how to be happy, and you'll have no problems.
He's a very wise man. Asante sana. It's very nice. Thank you. Auf Pemba, das ist so ursprünglich, das ist sehr selten in Afrika noch.
Pemba is so natural. It's a rare thing in Africa today.
Erstens freundlich sind,
to find a place like this where the people are so friendly, so open. It's an extremely safe place by African standards. It's such a beautiful place that hasn't really been discovered, and there's so much more I would like to do here.
The people clap and stomp to drive the bull into a frenzy. It's not easy to rile up a zebu. They have come to Chiwale from far and wide.
Is this the worst one, Eddie?
Yeah.
That's the bad one. Okay.
Ordinarily calm animals, the zebus haven't eaten in days. Their mood, understandably, is less than genial. The drumming and the tooting do the rest. Eventually, they attack. Bullfighting in Pemba is more a test of nerves for young men than a life and death battle. The Portuguese introduced the practice in the 17th century.
Portuguese here, they went to church in the morning and wondered what they were going to do in the afternoon. So they came, they introduced bullfighting for a bit of entertainment, and this is, some hundreds of years later, it's been remembered.
They would have liked to stay longer, but their trip is coming to an end. They've covered hundreds of kilometers by land, by sea, and in the air, snapping thousands of pictures along the way. Only a few of them will eventually make it into the photo book about the islands around Africa. But Richard is convinced that their trip has been a success.
Well, I think a Zanzibari is a very sort of proud person. And there's a difference between a tourist taking a photo of a market or something and trying to really capture something which is of the essence of somebody. And I think that Matthias has managed to do that quite well.
They spend their last evening together at the Eid festival in Stonetown, the celebration marking the end of the month of Ramadan. Alongside camel rides, the biggest attraction is the photographer's hut. Those who can afford it have a picture taken of themselves for posterity.
Which one?
That's what photography is really all about.
Up here?
To remember how things were once upon a time.
Like this?